EGM Network.
Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Yay. Hello and welcome to the show. We are so happy to have you here today. It's good to be back. I was gone for a couple of weeks. You guys saw some other shows that I had taped. It's a great art exhibit that's going to happen starting November 1. That's the Urge show that's going to be downtown on Old Dixie. It's a great place. But today is a celebration as I get back and everybody's getting back after the hurricane. You know, there was some things that some people that work with Dale Sorensen and a lot of Dale Sorensen people got together, and neighbors and friends and people got together. And our two guests today, you know, you guys know that I'm a realtor with Dale Sorensen Real Estate. You know that I am your realtor for life. That is what I do. This show is all about lifestyle because people move here because of the community, because of all the wonderful things that we do here in this town and all of the great experiences. And when this happened, which should not have ever happened, we had a hurricane, would have been a non-event if we didn't have tornadoes that came through here, which it's a 1,000-year thing. Everybody said you can't plan for it. You can't protect yourself from it. But when it starts happening, and it was happening in different parts of town, it happened west of town. It started in Port St. Lucie, and Stewart came rambling up through town. West of town has been damaged. You know, Central Beach, you know, that's kind of where our offices are. That's the office I'm in. That's the office that the gals are in that are here with us today. It was just something that you couldn't prepare for. I was out of town, but I was talking and texting with Elizabeth because I had to figure out, I had to be connected to what was going on. So 18 years with this company. Why? Dale Sorensen Real Estate is one of the most generous. This is a family-run business. They've been in business for 46 years. And my feeling and my sense of working with this company is that it's like a family, but they also are so committed to the community that it didn't surprise me one bit what happened after this event. And I'm actually getting choked up because it was amazing, because some of our dearest people that work for our company were in danger, and it was terrible to think that this could happen. And but it did. And then people rise up. So we've got two ladies here today. We've got Angela Wildrop, who works with our company, and Elizabeth Sorensen. Let's welcome them to the show. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank
so
you
happy
for
to have
having
you.
us.
It's so good to have you. It really is. It really is. Now, you
Trying to
guys,
make us cry.
I didn't mean
Out of
to,
the
but I didn't
jump.
know I was going to do.
Jeez
I don't plan for
Louise.
these things. It just happened. But no, you guys took the initiative through social media, talking to friends. I mean, Angela, basically, you were the house that was affected. Is that correct? I mean,
I was a house, yes.
one of
absolutely.
many,
Yes, many
in
houses.
Central Beach,
Many.
of course. But then the two of you guys, okay, so timeline, Wednesday, 5:30, tornado. Thursday morning, late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, non-event hurricane. Thursday is both of their birthday.
Friday.
Or Friday is the birthday,
Yes.
right? So you wake up and it's time. And you go, let's get together and start fixing this up. I mean, how did you even start that, Angela? How did you do it? What were you thinking?
So during the storm, Elizabeth from the jump was in, she was unaware, life-saving mode, and calling and telling us to get into like a safe space. We were just watching a movie, relaxing, and she said, "What do you mean you're watching a movie? Like, you should be watching the tornadoes."
Yes.
And I said,
But
"What
You
do
didn't see it? You didn't hear it?
No. I mean, our alarms were going off, but we're on the phone a lot
We've never
anyway.
had a tornado, so if an
No.
alarm goes off,
Yeah.
we don't even.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
We don't worry about it necessarily
No,
either.
no.
And she was like calling and saying, "I want you to turn it on the news now." So I start yelling to Josh to turn it on the news.
Like hunters in the
And
bathtub, you guys need to
do
watch
something.
what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
So then she calls me back and she says, there's one headed your way, but you're okay. It's west of you, but you need to get into like a safe space. So from the jump, the only reason that we weren't laying in the room that ultimately the tree went into was because of Elizabeth. And we went into the bathroom, and then I called her, which that part was not. And I was freaking out.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, it hit us, like we were hit.
Yeah.
And she was initially like, no, you weren't.
Voice
It went.
was so shaky. I could hardly understand anything she was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, she was
Hysterical.
and just scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, really scared. And she's like, I can't explain what I just felt. And she'll have to tell you that. I don't ever want to feel that or know
Right.
that feeling.
Right.
Because I've never been or seen or been involved in a tornado. So
And then we hung up, and she, unbeknownst to me, just gets into her car and starts like driving to me
with a bounce house.
with a bounce house.
The bounce house for Hunter's birthday was.
She was going to have us put it on the roof, but she's like, I have a bounce house.
Oh,
Like,
to
I'm
cover the
coming.
hole.
Only tar because when she called me crying, she was like, it sounded like a freight train. It was, my whole house was shaking. I heard like the noise I heard. I don't know. And I'm like, it's okay. It didn't happen. There's no way. There is no way.
Yeah.
And then when she was like,
I
could
was
hear,
like, there's a way.
and then Josh was
Could you
calling.
see the tree inside the house?
Yeah,
You could
like,
see it through
yes,
the roof.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's in
And
the-
so then I was like, all we could think of was a tarp, and all I had was this like humongous bounce house. So I was
On
like,
my horse.
so I dragged it.
Literally.
I dragged it through the house, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" And I just like threw it in the car.
And mind you, there were still alarms going off. Like she
Sure.
got on the road. There were live electrical wires.
Yes, I know.
There were all sorts of things that, like, looking back, I'm like, I would not have wanted her to be driving to me in that. But I certainly would have done the same thing for her.
Of
but
course.
also, you know, she's
Yeah.
amazing.
I know. She
So-
is. That's.
and she was so upset, and I was scared, but I was calm.
Mhm.
And when I live on the south end of the island, south of
Yeah.
17th Street, and so when I got in the car and was driving, it was a lull, like there was a break,
Right.
and I was like, this is not that bad. I don't
It
know
doesn't
what-
even look like anything south
I
of
don't know what
17th
she's
Street.
talking
It
about,
doesn't.
but like I have to get there, and I just started driving, and I got to 17th Street. I was like, this is not that bad.
I
And
also am the more dramatic of the two of us.
yeah, and I was
No.
like, everything is like, this is not that bad. And I started driving, and then I was like,
Got by
"This is
Quail
not that
Valley.
bad." Then I hit Quail Valley, and my breath was taken away because I had never
Yes.
seen anything like that. And then I saw my church, and I was like, and then I just started,
Cross.
and I just started crying. I thought, I've never seen anything like this. And I would look left and right, and there was not a passable road for me to get to her.
Mhm.
So I tried from Riamar to Painted Bunting, Iris, East and West, Honeyside. I tried every single street, and every single street was 100% blocked.
With
by
big
trees.
Yes. Just
Huge
fall-
trees.
Huge trees.
And
Definitely.
or just
debris from homes.
debris and roofs.
Roofs.
And I just was like flabbergasted. I just couldn't, I didn't even know what to do. I was just sitting there with my car trying to go backwards. I was driving over Transformer. I was just like, this real, it looked like a movie.
Yes,
It really
it
did.
did.
Yes.
And
yes.
it was
did.
just the craziest thing I'd ever seen, to be honest. And then
How
that's
did you
when
finally
I was
get
like,
to her? Did you walk? Did you tell her to come
know,
walk
No,
to me?
she called me. She was like, just run, just
I was
run.
like, because again, our phones were going off, and there was another warning for a tornado.
Right.
So I was
Oh.
like, you have to get out of your house. And so I got out of my car, and there were neighbors on her
she
street
was
that were out.
moving oak
And
trees.
so I was pulling oak trees and trying to get as close as possible. But I couldn't get far enough. And then her son turned into the Hulk. And I saw him.
Beckley,
yes.
who was a senior at St.
Yes.
Edward's School. And shout out to St. Edward's School and all of those seniors. the people that got
the football
together.
team.
Amazing.
Football team, yeah.
Amazing. But Beckley in his Hulk mode.
He started from their side, started
Hence
moving.
the shoulder
Yes.
surgery he's about to go through.
He was
Oh,
literally
no.
manhandling.
And he was moving trees, and they were going up on yards where I couldn't see them, but they were like, "We're coming to you." And then
Okay.
we were able to clear enough for her to get through and just 100% leave the area.
Leave your
Yeah.
house.
Yes,
Just leave it.
It just was not worth.
Yeah. No.
no.
If luckily it was fine, but you just never know. So
No.
it was just get out of there.
Absolutely
and
not.
Let's get
Because
to a
now
safe
with the
place.
hurricanes coming, And that was 7 hours later, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was so
We
crazy.
had one band and another tornado warning, and then a couple hours later, yes, the hurricane coming. So
It was crazy.
Let's get
crazy.
safe.
Well, now, hashtag Vera Strong.
Yes.
You ladies pulled it together. You guys, after all of this and life settles in and reality settles in, you two say, all right, guys, we got a lot of cleaning up to do. There's a lot of people out there that need things. How did you decide to do what you did? And then, I mean, you got it out there because people came. So how was that coordinated? How did you do that, Elizabeth?
Well, the night of the storm,
yeah.
Alan Temple, Aaron Martin, Nick Bischoff from Vero Beach Roofing, Rob Greenfield, Nico, and one other gentleman whose name I don't even know. They went literally during the storm and fully tarped our roof. So within an hour.
During the hurricane part of it.
Like in between the tornadoes
Yeah.
and when the hurricane was hitting
God.
the West Coast, once we got the all clear and like they were checking everything, all the websites, and they were like,
Yes.
the tornado warning has been lifted. The second it lifted, they all got in the car and
they were literally on our roof that night. So that was also part of it, like feeling like, you know, these people care, like they're out in a storm, like in the
You
videos
started to
and
feel that
pictures.
community feel,
Correct. Yes,
right?
there's
Like
like-
everybody was going to come together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There was like
Yeah.
lightning going off behind them. You could see in the videos, and it was just a sense of like, wow, these people really stepped up for us to make sure, which ultimately probably saved like a large portion of the interior of our house.
Yes.
And then the next
And
day,
then Thursday was the storm cleared and they
Yes.
were like, the storm is gone. And that was just no one asking and everyone just randomly showing up, not just to Angela's house, but
Right.
to check on friends, neighbors,
Yes.
and slowly, you know, we checked on certain people. She, you know, go to her house and other friends would go to somewhere else, then come to her house. And all of a sudden it just turned into a group and we were doing and helping. And we're like, okay, we've got you handled. Let's help some others. And then from there, Angela literally said, it's our birthday tomorrow. We should throw a birthday party and make everyone come celebrate us by
Helping.
serving
Yeah. And that's really
a
how it
service
started.
birthday.
A service birthday.
That was, I mean, it'll be your most memorable birthday,
It
maybe.
will be our most
right?
memorable birthday.
Maybe not the most fun.
Yeah, well,
It actually was the most fun.
That
Tell-
was the largest
tell-
birthday party I've ever had.
For sure.
Well, tell me about it. How did it happen? So what was that day like when everybody got together?
We asked for everyone to show up at 10.
10.
We did a social media, like a group social media post. We did a little video that just said, basically, if you love us, you'll come and help clean and bring chainsaws, bring supplies.
Yeah.
And we were like, there could be like 3 people. There could be
We
5
thought it
people.
would just be like a couple friends
Sure,
for sure. And then all
sure.
of a sudden I called her and I was like,
How many people?
this is wild. Like
Throughout
there
the
were
day,
just like
between like probably 50 and 100 people. on
I
and off.
love
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love that.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
and everyone came with things. Like we had friends who were going to be out of town because it was a long weekend for,
Yes.
for
Oh,
our
that's right.
school. And some
Yep.
people were traveling and they were like, we're not going to be here. We are taking off, but dropped off like drinks, food, snacks, like candy, just like
Chainsaws.
Like they were like, you need this stuff. We're out. But like they wouldn't even leave without giving us
Something.
Yeah.
something. And so the people who showed up either just showed up with like themselves,
Yeah.
their babies, their children.
Yeah.
We all had our kids there.
There
all
were
the kids,
babies.
babies.
Strapped to
Yes.
the front. Babies.
Well, I saw kids, you know, like could be in first, second, third grade, picking up little sticks,
Absolutely.
putting them in piles.
Sticks. Hunter was like crushing
Well,
it.
he's
4.
he's a monster.
Yeah.
But
I
it
know
was like
Hunter.
4 days
he was,
in.
He was working out with Beckley, lifting up the
He
big
was trying.
ones. Yeah, I
He
know.
really wants to be
4
a big
days
boy.
and he's like, I'm sore. And I was like, oh my God, you know what that word means now.
Yeah.
He
Like,
knows what it means
legitimately
now.
sore.
But what happened also, which was so interesting, is we would, and I think you said, like, how did you pick where you were going? And
Yes.
people asked us that too. And it was sort of like a thing of service where you don't pick and choose.
No,
You just serve.
you just go.
We just went and we started on Angela Street because her neighbors were so kind to her. We had some neighbors that were elderly, some that didn't have their husbands with them or
Yes.
someone else to help them. So we just started on her street. And from there, we moved to other streets. And then we'd go to a street and help somebody and they'd say, we are jumping in and we're helping you the next. Like,
Right.
thank you so much. Like, I might have been able to do it myself. It would have taken me forever.
Yes.
But you helped me. I want to help somebody else. This is like, where did you come from and why are you here?
I know.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
There was a lot of that. A lot of hugs, some tears,
I'm
some
sure.
sad stories.
It's
some-
scary.
Yeah.
I mean, when you realize you're okay, and then you can cry, like we
Yeah.
kind of were just doing before the show, where
I
it's
know.
like I get choked up about, I couldn't be here. And Angela wanted to out me on that. Lori Davis was
Lori
not here to
Davis
help
was
out.
not in on the
but
service
I wasn't.
day.
I was like, geez, I was across the
I
Atlantic,
love
but
that you were.
it was. I mean, I would have, it's the thing where that's what I'm talking about with this community. That's what I'm talking about with Dale Sorensen Real Estate. Like when these things happen, you're going to see Dale Sorensen Real Estate involved in any way, shape, or form. Now, we're talking about right now.
Often anonymously.
Exactly. Very much so.
Like so often.
Very much so.
We did that like personally, but I will say, Angela thought of it like, we have to feed everybody. Like, what are we going to do? We called Dave Decker, who works in Dale Sorensen Real Estate,
Downtown
who owns
office.
Nino's.
Yep.
And he gave us 40 pizzas for like cost for half the price. And
Yes.
my father, Mr. Sorensen, he paid for all of that for everybody.
Yep.
So yes, no, we weren't like, this is a Dale. We weren't going house to house like, we're from Dale Sorensen Real Estate. It was just we are a volunteer group of neighbors.
No.
That's all we would say.
That's
And
it.
people were like there were a couple people that were like in it to find out where we were coming from. Like
100%.
And you guys
we're
you didn't say a word about that.
No.
I was only because I knew who you guys were. And I loved that it was the two of you. And you guys have been friends for how many years?
Oh, that's that
44?
because we were born on the same
44?
day.
Okay.
So
Wait, no,
you
but I mean,
know.
okay, so you've known each other since high school. Let's make it that long, right?
way longer.
Way longer than that.
Okay, so elementary school, a long
Elementary.
time.
Our Mr. Sorensen and my grandfather were friends.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I just claim it from birth.
Okay,
Done.
that's good. Now, what we were talking about again was, and Dale Sorensen and their philanthropy and their generosity, we're doing things right now on the mainland.
Yes.
This is not an island thing.
No.
We are totally on the mainland.
Absolutely.
And something that we have tomorrow, Wednesday,
Yep.
where we're going to do, we get the Saucy Pig.
Yep.
Shout out to, what's her name? I'm sorry.
Beamer from the Saucy Pig.
The Saucy Pig.
Yes, he will be
So good.
cooking all the food.
Yes.
And we will be at
Highlands.
the Highlands,
Is it their
their community center.
community center?
Correct.
Yes.
Their community center.
Yep.
And
that's
this is
tomorrow, Wednesday.
tomorrow, Wednesday.
From 4 to 7.
4 to 7, and we will hand out 250 hot meals for
Yep.
free.
Yep.
We'll have tables and we'll set up supplies
Yes.
for people with
If you
toilet
need
paper,
food, yes.
food, razors, toothbrushes, like just everyday essentials supplies that people lost and that they need every day, and
Yep.
to just like groceries that they need, because we think about, even if they didn't have damage and they
Refrigerators.
lost power,
Yeah.
losing a whole refrigerator or a whole pantry full of things is devastating to someone who is on a budget.
Of course.
So,
of course.
We're just trying to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah,
for
and
them.
you guys, you did it last
Shadowbrook.
week as well,
Shadowbrook.
Yeah.
Yep.
right? So, I mean, this is the thing. This is what I talk about Dale Sorensen Real Estate. I try and tell you guys. Listen, I have to take a break because we pay for this with 2 commercials. We'll be right back in a little bit with Angela and Elizabeth. See you in just a second.
Sturgis Lumber is the county's most trusted hardware store. Sturgis stocks stainless steel products, power tools, construction and painting supplies, propane, plumbing, and electrical parts. 4645 US 1 Vero Beach. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
It's hurricane season. Prune your trees now with Scott Tree Services. Strengthen your trees against high winds and remove broken limbs that could cause damage. Don't get nervous. Call Scott Tree Services.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a huge fall sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of brand name closeout and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine.
Doesn't seem like a great time to celebrate, but it really is a great time to celebrate because when the community comes together like this is why you want to live in Vero Beach, Florida.
That's right.
I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Amazing.
So you both were born in Vero Beach, correct?
Born and raised.
Oh my gosh, you guys are rookies. I've lived in New York. I've lived in Atlanta. Anyway, nobody cares about that.
Born and raised here.
I know. I love that. I love it. Well, it shows. It just shows. And again, the Sorensens and all of that they do. There were some people that came out.
Yes.
That helped, that you wanted to give a shout out to, and absolutely this is time to say thank you to everybody. Who do you guys want to say?
The list is so long, but what we were saying is like there are some companies.
Yes.
So this is a time where when there's like a disaster, some of these companies can make money and have like they can take calls from their clients and go make the money, and they showed up for free or for little to nothing. Yeah. So
there was no payment on that, guys.
So we really
a slice of pizza.
We really appreciate that. So we can start with DaCosta.
Yeah, Jason DaCosta of DaCosta Landscaping has been just unreal. But
remember that name. These guys have a great business in town.
Unreal.
Real estate, we will tell you, we all refer, like everybody goes, I bought a new house. I need a landscaper. Or I need somebody to take care of my yard. DaCosta Landscaping. You'll see their trucks everywhere. I love to hear that he did that.
Nick
of course
Bischoff,
he went. Nick Bischoff.
Roofing.
Vero Beach Roofing.
Vero Beach Roofing.
And he was out there. Obviously, the landscaping, too, was something that people were affected by, but certainly from an immediate post-tornado situation, the roof was key to everyone.
Absolutely.
And Nick could have been raking in
of course
contracts, and he was out for at least the first 3 or 4 days, all day, every day.
Yes.
Just tarping and doing things for free, not even providing his cards or just there to work.
I sent a message and Pipeline Pools and Pavers, the Camacho family. I sent her a message and she was, when she showed up, I was like, oh my gosh. And they had their trucks, their machines.
Themselves.
It was her whole family, like her mom, like with chainsaws. And I'm like, oh my God,
I know.
Your whole family is here. And like we were going home and they were still clearing lawns.
People's poles and lawns. And
they were like everything. They were taking their machines.
We were laying down.
Yeah.
And
they were doing everything. And they just came out for free. No name. Nothing. They just were doing it. Service. So
if you guys are watching this show and you do not currently live in Vero Beach, Florida, I want to tell you that this is the reason why it is such an amazing place. It's a small town. We get compared to Naples. We have a similar net worth community. We get compared. There's nothing like it. You're in Palm Beach. It's just very, there's a lot of traffic. It's very densely populated. Nothing like this community-wise until you get to maybe St. Augustine. That's what I compare it to. This is a very unique thing. And when you see things like this happen, I want you to know we still want you to come to Vero Beach. There's still a lot of real estate to sell. You guys, I am so happy to have you, Elizabeth. Angela, thank you so much. Is there anything else that people need to do, like get together, go to the United Way, maybe
just
donate to the United Way?
Give
where you can.
Give where you can. And I would say, it sounds so silly, but social media was such a huge way to reach people. And anytime we find a place that needs donations, check social media, we post it.
Exactly. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
all you did.
you.
I'm so sorry I wasn't here, but I
we're
was having a
happy
good
you
time.
weren't.
As you should be.
Thank you
I
for
would have
texting
been
me all
there.
night.
You know I would have been there.
Thank you for
That's
texting
right.
me all night.
I did. I was talking her down. Anyway, have a great night. Be safe out there, guys. Be safe around all the damage that's out there, and don't be looking at other people's places. Lend a hand if you can. Have a great night. Thanks.